Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, and today we have Ebony and Ivory. You guys won't believe it, but we're related. No one has ever believed us, but we are cousins, and she's the sunny side of my family. This is my cousin Lauren Loveless, Lauren Harf Loveless, and Lauren is from Florida, well, originally in California, but she's been living in Florida for many decades. She's been happily married for many, many years. She got married when she was like 2 years old, I remember. She has two beautiful children, and she has a business, and she has, I don't know, Laura, I don't want to brag on you too much because you're a very humble and sweet woman, but she lives, in my opinion, the 30-something dream life in so many ways. And I think it's so important for women to own how fabulous their life is, to not feel embarrassed to talk about the great things in their life. So I'm just going to allow you guys to get to know my cousin better and some of the things that she's really into that bring her a lot of joy. And I guess before we start, Laura, you could just kind of let them know from the jump where they can find you, like your social media accounts, etc.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. This is really fun. And I love it because we used to always tell people we were cousins when they were little and no one would ever believe us. And we still get to play that game. So it's really fun. I love it. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. And this is so fun. So if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram at far.from.loveless. So my last name is Loveless, but I do have a lot of love. I'm not loveless, I promise. I got married and became loveless. So Far From Loveless on Instagram and Lauren Loveless on Facebook are probably the two best places to find me.
Perfect. So Laura, let's just start with your personal life because it's so much more juicy than anything else. Tell us how you met your man and what it's like being married for thousands upon thousands of years since you were 12 years old.
Well, yes. Okay. So yes, my husband and I, we got married super young. We were 20 and 21. And we met each other, and we were both of this mentality that we wanted to get married young. We wanted to have a family young. We watched our parents do that. And so that just felt like we both loved how we grew up, and we had experienced a lot of life. I had traveled a lot of the world. I was a professional athlete, so I traveled a lot of the world. And so when I met my husband, we dated for exactly a year. And we said hey, if we're not meant to be together in a year, let's just let each other go our separate ways. So he proposed at literally midnight, exactly a year from our very first date. And we've been married for 17 years. So we have two little kiddos, and well, they're not little anymore. Oh my gosh. My daughter just turned 13 today. So they're not little. But yeah, we've just been building this life together. We joke all the time that we are growing up together because we were such babies when we got married. We knew nothing, but we just decided that we were going to throw ourselves headlong into marriage, and we were going to go on this wild ride together and just evolve and grow together. And it certainly has not been perfect or some sort of fairy tale by any means, but we just keep choosing each other every single day. And, it's working. It's working really well. Actually, I'm more crazy in love with him today, 17 years later, than I was the day I got married. And I know sometimes people think oh, love fades, or, but I think that you have to work at it just like anything in your life every single day. You have to choose to get up and work at it. And I think we've done that, and we're on the same page when it comes to that. And so it's made for a really pretty sweet life.
How did you know he was the one? How did you know, okay, I think I could do 30, 40, 50 years with this guy?
It's so weird. So I had, obviously dated a little bit here and there before I met him. And there was just something about him that we just connected really much from the get-go. Our families got along really well. Our families were actually friends before we met. We shared the same faith. And we just shared a lot of the same, we're very entrepreneurial spirits. We wanted to make our way in the world in some way, leave some sort of impact. And so it was pretty early on, actually, that I told my mom, I think I'm going to marry this guy. And she was like, I know, which is a good thing, I guess. But yeah, it was just something where I had done a lot of like praying and journaling, and I dated a few bad eggs, right? And so we start to reflect and realize like, okay, here's the things I really want in a spouse. Here's the things that if I could just dream up this amazing individual. And I will say that all of those things that I prayed and dreamed for, I was certainly not those things yet. And he was certainly not those things yet. But over time, we have really grown and evolved. And I have an old journal that I went back and looked at not too long ago on an anniversary. And so many of those things that before I even knew him, prayed for, thought about, dreamed about, he is those things and so much more. So, and obviously that's on my part too. I had to grow and evolve and be all of those things as well for him. So it's been a really fun ride.
Yeah, like people don't realize sometimes, like when you're young, you don't realize like as you're dating, you're like, well, where's all like the good guys that are similar to, my cousin's husband or my aunt's husband, or I want a relationship like my mentor and her husband. And it's like, people don't realize people grow together. So yes, I'm a huge fan of like definitely creating in your mind or on a piece of paper or somewhere a list of things that are really key and really important to you, but also understanding that people grow through the years, and behind every great man is a great woman that's put so much work into, up leveling him. Let's like up leveling his thinking, his lifestyle, all that. So yeah, Laura, I don't know, what's your advice for single gals that like they don't want to settle? Like, let girls, I'll tell you this, her husband is a cutie. I will verify. He's a cutie. He's, I don't know, but he's like dark blonde hair, blue eyes. Lauren's, you're reasonably tall. He's a little taller than you, so that's always good. And I'm not going to like brag on him, but like he's a smarty. Like he's a hustler. Like he's built a beautiful life for you. And I know you have your own business, and we'll talk about that too. But he's been a good provider and a protector for you. So, you have what women aspire to. Let's just be real. They want somebody fabulous. What's your advice for single women who don't want to settle, and at the same time they want to be open-hearted, to meeting somebody?
Yeah, of course. And I think so often, gosh, like the fact that we met so young is crazy to me, right? Because I know that's not everybody's story. But I think one, don't settle. Like, keep your eyes open and keep looking for those people. But I think being really clear and having clarity around what you want, having a lot of clarity around obviously who you're looking for. Don't settle, give it the time that it needs. But I think so often I see people, they're constantly looking outward. And I think focusing too on the inward, like not only what am I looking for, but who do I want to be in that relationship? How can I grow? How can I evolve? How can I be that person that I know I want to be? And so I think just, obviously looking outward and being really clear about what you're looking for, but also really focusing inward about who you are and who you are becoming, and just constantly growing and leveling up in every area of your life, I think will also attract exactly what you're looking for.
How important is it in marriage for women to keep themselves on a pedestal? High confidence, feeling good, not feeling jealous, knowing you still got it going on after 17 years. Like, do you think about stuff like that, being married, like the importance of that?
I think really, truly for me, like I want to feel my best, look my best, stay young. I always tease my husband. I always say, listen, blondes don't age well. I'm going to need like all the things. Right. So,
I need it all.
But really, it is about taking care of ourselves, and not just so physically, but so you feel good. And so like health and wellness is a big passion of mine. Staying young, feeling your best, is super important to me. And so we do things that allow us to stay young and healthy and feeling good and super attracted to each other. So working out and eating well and, you know, doing those things that really honestly just overflow into every area of your life, not just your marriage. And so I think I'm super passionate about feeling good every day so I can wake up and be the woman that I know that I can be. And I think same thing for him. If we don't have the energy, if we don't, you know, you don't get to live the life that you want to live. So yeah, I think it's super important to, you know, keep your confidence high. And I remember when my husband and I first got married, we had no money, like zero money. And I went out and bought a bunch of makeup, like not even thinking twice. I was a professional athlete before. I didn't, you know, I just kind of lived my own life and did my own thing and made money at a pretty young age. So I didn't even think twice about like budget or like any of those things that we were like working with at the time. Panicked because it was expensive and it cost a lot. It was like, we can't afford. And his mom was super upset with me to return it. Like, we can't afford this right now. And she was like, no, this is your wife. She needs that makeup. If she wants that makeup, you need to figure it out. And so those little like early have stayed true to who I am before I was married. And then obviously into my married life where I want to, you know, feel my best, look my best. And he's the same.
Laura, tell us a time. I don't know, you don't have to,
Yeah.
but tell us a time when you guys really had to fight hard to keep each other, to stay together. Could be a financial thing. It could be, who knows? Like, who knows? Like, it could be a moment of someone was feeling super insecure or jealous, or someone wasn't holding up their end of the deal in the marriage. Can you tell us how you guys got through that?
Yeah. I mean, we've had a few, obviously. I mean, nobody's marriage is perfect. But we have fought hard multiple times. I mean, honestly, and truly for us, we have to do things regularly to get ahead of it. We've made pre-decisions that we are going to fight no matter what, to the bitter end, no matter what. And, but that was a pre-decision that we made. And so when we get into those hard places, we obviously have found more of a rhythm as we've gotten older. We've obviously been married for longer. So we've definitely found more of a rhythm, and we can pretty much start to figure out when we start to struggle what we're missing. Are we missing quality time together? Are we missing date night? The kids' schedules have been too busy. We haven't connected enough recently. We need a weekend away, just the two of us. We've started to figure out those rhythms. But we've also spent time in counseling. I mean, we've spent multiple times during our marriage, large chunks in counseling. And that has been huge for us, you know, because so often there's just unresolved stuff that we bring. You know, we're two completely separate people, and now we're coming to this life. And even because we got married so young, a lot of times people are like, oh, you just had less baggage. And it's so true, but a lot of times you have unresolved things that you just got to figure out. So we're big fans of the Enneagram and understanding yourself and, you know, that self-awareness, because that teaches you how you show up in a marriage. So we've done a lot of counseling, a lot of self-awareness, and then just knowing those things that we need to get back to when we start to feel that distance or feel that disconnect, or we're just not on the same page, or we're not agreeing on things. And because we're both entrepreneurs, we can get very like down to business, and we run multiple businesses together, which we love. People are like, oh my gosh, how do you run businesses with your husband? We're a great team. We're so good at it. But we can be very like list makers and down to business. And so sometimes we have to go, hey, we got to pull back from that. Like, let's be us, let's be married. We're not just business partners. You know, we're partners in all things.
Okay. So I've been married before. I did not have to work. I married a provider. Is it all that it's cracked up to be? Of course it is. Who wants to work? But it was fabulous until I got bored. And then I decided I needed to do something fun. And I realized in that process, as life is, that when you achieve certain financial goals, certain beauty goals, certain whatever relationship goals. You get to the top and you're like, it's cool, but like, I want more because we're expansive and we want to keep growing. And so why are you working, Laura? Tell us why. And why did you decide to work? You don't have to work, girl. So why are you working? Tell us the whole shebang of how you got into this.
Yeah. So when we first got married, I actually was a professional wakeboarder and traveled and did all of that. And I retired and I started a wakeboard school. And I was teaching wakeboarding. We started to have a family and, you know, your life just keeps expanding, right? So, you know, as you're making more income, you tend to make a bigger life. And I was working and thought I was super happy doing it. And then I had one baby, then I had two babies, and I really found myself in a place where I didn't expect that that's what it would feel like. Like I was getting up before my kids every morning. They were in bed by the time I got home every night. I was like looking in their crib and like, hope you had a good day. My now sister-in-law was our nanny at the time, and I love her dearly. But I wrote her a check for 60 hours one week, and I thought, this is not the life that I intended. So I came to my husband and I said, remember when I said I wanted to be a working mom? Well, I changed my mind. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And he was like, oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're going to have to make some adjustments. We're going to have to make some changes, but we can do that. And so I had some people in my ear in my life at that time that had just told me, you know, you're going to be so bored being a stay-at-home mom, you know, it's going to be miserable. You're going to hate it. And so in my mind, that's just what I thought. But I was really miserable being a working mom because I never saw my kids. And so I had such a struggle with that. But I committed and I stayed home full time for quite a few years. And I loved it. I just loved that I had that freedom. I loved that I could be with my kids, you know, 24/7, which is also, you know, like you need a break too. So, sometimes, so there was parts of it, you know, there's good and bad, obviously, to all of it. And I'm definitely not one to say like, stay-at-home mom, working mom. I've been on both sides of the spectrum, and I chose to start working again. And part of the reason I chose the business that I chose, is because I wanted the best of both worlds. I wanted to be there for my kids. I wanted to do all the things. I'm headed to a beach volleyball game this afternoon. I'm picking up my son early from school. We're headed to our daughter's volleyball game. So I wanted the freedom of that. But I have an entrepreneurial spirit. I have a drive. There's something in me. And so I remember my mom telling me when I was younger, like, Laura, you can have it all. Able to do it all at the same time. But in your lifetime, you can totally have it all. And so I think so often moms plant themselves and like do what works for you in that season. Like you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into one or the other. And we have found that we do our life in 3-month segments. And if it's working, then we just keep going with it. And if it's not, then we pivot and adjust and do what's going to work for our lives.
That's beautiful. Like you do have to remove yourself from comparing yourself to the Joneses, trying to be what other people want you to be. If you want to be a home mom or a housewife with no job and that makes you happy, you should do it. If you want to work, if you want to start a business, like and it's exactly what you said. There are different seasons of life. There are times, you know, and you have to flow with those seasons as a woman. I too believe you can have it all. I just think that it all occurs in divine timing. And so it's important to be patient and to be flowing. But tell us, Laura, about your business. Tell us, what the heck are you offering? What is so special about it for you? Because I know you are in love with it, and I really enjoyed it. I tried some of your products and very much enjoyed them. So,
yeah, sure, I would love to. Well, I will tell you that I have a health and wellness business. It is a network marketing company that I will tell you, as a traditional business owner in my life, I said, I will never, ever, 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 ever step foot into a network marketing business. I just had this idea and this notion in my head of what that looked like and what that meant. My mom had a network marketing business in the early 90s. We had a garage full of products. It was super expensive to buy in. I mean, she just didn't have any success. So in my head, that's the only thing I thought of network marketing. And I had a very dear, sweet friend. I always joke with her because I'm such a good friend. I got to be in both weddings. I was in the first one and the second one. I made the cut. So I always tease her that that's like when you know you're like, you made it, right? So I had a very dear, sweet friend, and she starts posting on Facebook about this pink drink and these health and wellness products. And my immediate first thought was, oh my word, what has my sweet friend got into? We need an intervention. Like, this is crazy. She's a successful real estate agent. Like, what in the world is she doing? And at the time, I just, obviously I'm going to support another woman in business because that's just who I am. If you're doing your thing and you're successful, I'm all about supporting you. And I don't, obviously I can't judge what you're doing. But I was just like, no, that's not for me. And she asked me, hey, I would love for you to just take a look at this. And I just said, no, I will never, but I'm going to cheer you on. So I talk about stubborn. I watched her for 4.5 years before I would even take a look at the products or the business, anything. And part of what happened is we really found ourselves in a health crisis. My husband and I both have a part of our story has been, we have dealt with a lot of anxiety and depression. And he has, I always say he's dealt with it more. We both have dealt with it, but he was medicated for a long time. And he woke up one day and his meds weren't working. And he was, a husband and a business owner and a father. And he was not functioning. He was not doing well. And so everything came to a head when we spent a year, just trying different cocktails of meds and different things, and just literally nothing was working. And so I had a moment where I thought, gosh, is this what I signed up for? I don't know if this is what I signed up for, but I went into this like full mama bear mode. And I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a different way. And so I started doing a ton of research, and basically everything kept leading me towards gut health, gut health, gut health. And I'll be honest, I was a bit of a supplement snob at the time. I really felt like I eat well, I work out.
Like, you kind of were going into, like, you guys struggled with depression and anxiety, which I didn't know about you because you're like me, you're a sunny person. A lot of people don't know that I have struggles. People don't even believe that I came from like a traumatic childhood, because I have a sunny disposition, a positive mindset, and let's face it, I live my dreams. Like, I don't let anybody tell me what to do. I live my dreams. But so you and your husband both were struggling with depression and anxiety, and you went into mama bear mode, and you were like, oh, no. Some kind of concoction needs to be put together here. So just keep kind of expanding on that for us.
Yeah. So I just realized, like, okay, this cocktail of meds that we've been trying, nothing is working. We have to find a different solution. And I just went into full mama bear mode and was like, there has to be a better way. And so I just started, researching like crazy. And everything just kept leading me back to gut health. And so I just said to my husband, you need to trust me. We're going to go on this journey together. I don't know what this is going to look like, but what we're currently doing is not working. And so we need a solution. And honestly, I'll admit that my anxiety and depression was less severe than his. But I struggled, but it was kind of like a triage situation. Like, well, his was worse. So it's like, okay, what do we got to do to help him first? But I was like, we're in this together. So we're going to go on this journey together. And I will tell you that in my mind, my first thing that I said, I was a bit of a supplement snob at the time. I ate well, I exercised, and I thought that could be my solution out of any problem. That's just what I'll do. I'll get some sun, I'll drink some water, I'll get outside, I'll be around friends, I'll do what I need to do in order to get to a different place, until that wasn't working anymore. And I realized I just need something else. So we started taking these gut health products, and it's a very simple system. It's literally like 3 things. And we started to see big changes. And I honestly was thinking, solidarity, I feel as good as I can feel. But if this helps him, then this is going to be huge. And then I started to notice things. I started to notice my skin was clearing. I was feeling better. I was waking up every morning with energy. I wasn't hitting that afternoon crash. I was like, the inflammation in my body was going down. My weight was, getting in balance. Like there was just so many things that were happening. And he was thriving. I mean, dropped 60 pounds, like, yeah, crazy, was sleeping through the night, off all of his medications completely, and so now we're going on almost 4.5 years of just completely medication free. And so I shout it from the rooftops. I tell everybody, and this business that I said I would never tell anybody, has become a 6-figure income for us, a new stream of income and a 6-figure income. And so it's been such a huge blessing for our family. And I will tell you that when I said yes to the products, John said to me, being an entrepreneurial mind, we have a financial business. So he said, if we're going to take these products, there has to be something to this business, because we watched our friend Lynn retire her husband from corporate America. She retired from real estate so they could stay home with their kiddos. And she had built a multi-6-figure income at that point. And so he said, there has to be something to this. So he said, you take us down the product road. I'm just going to research this business. And so he came back with spreadsheets, because that's what he does, financial, came back with spreadsheets a couple of days later and said, listen, if you think that these products are worth their weight, like you say, and I'm feeling good, you're feeling good, our kids, are doing amazing and thriving, we can't not do this business. This is like crazy beyond generous. This compensation plan is absolutely amazing. And we need to do this. And so I was like, okay, I need to eat crow now, because I said I would never do this. And so here we go. And so, I made one of those first Facebook posts super scared and terrified of what all my friends were going to think, and were they going to unfriend me, and everybody was going to follow me and unfollow me. And it was going to be this. And it was totally the opposite. It was more than I could have ever imagined. And I was honest about our story and honest about our struggles. And so many people were going, yeah, I'm dealing with those same things too. So it's been really fun, because health and wellness has always been a passion of mine, helping people feeling really good. My mom comes from that background. I grew up with a mom who was an exercise physiologist and a nutritionist. So I know that how we feel, really comes from how we treat our bodies and how we're feeling on the inside. And that goes with our physical bodies, our spiritual bodies, our minds. I mean, all of that is connected. And so I just knew that if this could be the missing link for us, it could probably be the missing link for a lot of other people. So it's been really fun to just take people on that journey. And it's been so cool. Like, I love helping people in their health, because to see people thrive is so fun. But I also really, really love helping people in their finances. And that's been a really fun part. In our financial business, we have lived this residual income life for a lot of years, 17 years in our financial business. And it's blessed our family. It is far beyond what we could have ever dreamed or imagined, truly. And I will be honest in saying that I didn't need this income when I started sharing. But I wanted to say yes to more things. We are firm believers in multiple streams of income. And I wanted to say yes to more things. We were building a house, and I wanted to say yes to all of the things. We wanted to put our kids in private school, and I wanted to say yes to that. And I want it to even be a second thought. And so it has allowed us to say yes to so many things, which has been super incredible. But it's also allowed us to help other people reach financial goals. And I have a really good friend who joined me. She used to be a pro wakeboarder with me. And she joined me right from the beginning, and she's a massage therapist. And, she said, I either have to exchange time with my kids and my family for money. Like, I don't get to do both. Like, the billable hour is killing me, and I don't get to do both. And one of the very first times she texted me from the hockey rink, watching her kid play hockey, she texted me and said, oh my goodness, I just got paid. And she's like, I get it. I understand what residual income is. Like, I didn't have to sacrifice the time for, with my family for for the paycheck. And so to get to do both is incredible. So it's been really fun to just, and my mission now, obviously it changes and evolves, where in the beginning it was truly, I wanted my family to feel better. I wanted an extra stream of income. But now that I've seen that ripple effect and what's possible, I just want people to be able to make the financial choices and decisions that they want to make, not necessarily the decisions they have to make. And so often I see people, they just don't have the option to make, they don't have a choice. There's no choices to be made because there's just not enough money there. And so do I believe that money buys happiness? And, no, I don't believe those things, but I do believe it buys freedom. And I do believe that you can do more and give more, and you have an opportunity. And so that has been fun to take people along on that ride and just, help people change their money mindsets and help people see that they don't have to just struggle paycheck to paycheck. So as passionate as I am about the health side, I am as equally passionate about the business side, because I've just seen the ripple effect of what that can do. And I will tell you, when the pandemic hit and we were truly bracing for impact in our financial business, we were like, okay, we are going to get hit hard. And my husband is the ultimate planner. So he was like, I got it all figured out, don't you worry. But we knew we were bracing for impact, and we got hit pretty hard. And he showed me a number and it was like, whew, that's a hard number to swallow. Okay. And then a couple weeks later, he showed me almost an identical number. And I said, yeah, I saw that. You showed me that. I saw. And he said, no, that's what your business brought in this last month during the pandemic. I mean, almost to the dollar of what we lost in our financial business was there. And I didn't say yes, 3 years earlier, because I needed an extra income. I had no idea what was around the corner. I had no idea what was to come. And so to know that was already, it was already playing out for me. Like it was already happening for me. And I had no idea what an impact that would have. And so it has allowed us to obviously continue living our life in a really comfortable and amazing way. It's allowed us to keep saying yes to things. And so it's been really fun to know that, I had no idea what was to come, but I do know that no matter what, I want to be prepared to fight, whether it's in my health. We can't control what's going to come our way, but we can be prepared. And so I want to be prepared, whether it's in my health or in my finances, to fight back against whatever's coming. And so to have some things set up and in place and do those daily things that are going to set you into the right path, for me has been, the biggest blessing ever. So it's been really fun where, to just know that it all works out. It all works out, even when you're scared, even when you have to eat crow a little bit, even when you have to go back on what you said. It's all worth it. And so it's been such a fun ride. And it's been really fun, I think, for my kids to see me evolve into all, I got to spend that time, running a traditional business. I've worked in our financial business. I've been a stay-at-home mom. and I have a 13-year-old daughter. So I want her to see that, like, you can do all the things, like you can do them all. You can get that life that you want. And you can empower women, and you can have a whole lot of fun doing it. And you can be a stay-at-home mom and let your husband take care of you. Like, it's all good things. Like, you can do all of those things. Like we talked about in seasons of your life.
Laura, just being realistic, do you work a lot of hours, or you keep it part-time?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously in the beginning, I've had to find a balance because I am a worker. That's what I do. Right. I'm really good at work. I've always felt like in my life, and I don't know where this comes from. I wasn't like a straight A student. I got decent grades. I was an okay athlete. Like, I always felt like I was just kind of like mediocre at stuff. But I learned pretty early on, if I work, if I just show up, if I do that extra bit, I can rise above. So I have just learned in my life, I may not be the most talented in the room. I might not be the smartest in the room, but I will outwork you. And that has been my mentality. But I have had to find a balance because I'm not a fan of this like hustle, hustle, hustle mentality. I think that creates burnout, and I think that's unrealistic. and I guess if you're loving that life, if that is what's driving you and you're loving that and that's working for you, then by all means. But for me, I definitely had to find a balance. But like anything, there's seasons, right? And so I was all about working really hard in a season. And that's the freedom and the flexibility of this business, is that I've had to take a little bit, not a step back, but I've been able to let the wheels keep on turning, because I worked really hard, and some things, got moving, and that momentum. They always talk about, like, it's almost like you're pushing a boulder up a mountain, and at some point that boulder is gonna, hit the top of the peak of the mountain, and it's gonna start to roll. And that's really what happened for me. So it's been fun to be able to take a step back and do things, spend some time with some family, do some things that, realign my priorities. So I think it's important to work hard. I think we're made for hard work. I think we're made for hard things, but I also think it's important to strike a balance. And
yeah, I just so many gems, but guys, I'll just say, well, obviously I've known Lauren my whole life, and this enthusiasm, Laura, I can't blame Plexus for this, because you've always been like that. You've always been excited about what's up. What's up right now? Am I wakeboarding around? Excited to help me wakeboard. Oh, that was a hot mess. But anyway, just excited to go to the party, excited to come and see me sing. Like, that's just Lauren. She's always been, Lauren probably doesn't know this, but I don't preach hard work. I don't work hard, and I work part-time. And sometimes I wonder why I'm doing that at all. But I do believe there are seasons. I can't mince my words. There have been times when I've had to hustle, but those are for seasons. And I think the overall goal should be a life. This is me, Laura, you may disagree, but I feel the goal should be a life of ease, comfort. What do you call it? Residual income. I call it, the income you don't even know. It's just coming from different directions. It's stuff you built years ago you didn't even think of, and now you're making sales. And so, yeah, for me, I think it's every woman has to find that balance for her. And I don't think a woman should feel ashamed if she's able to build a lifestyle where she doesn't have to work that hard. Because the truth is, to be a feminine soul, to be available for your man, to be to have the energy to cuddle with the kids and do all this stuff, you have to be well rested. You have to be feeling good. You have to be, your cup has to be full to be able to do the things that people will never forget you for, which is the love that you bring, just being in the present moment. So that's why I was just curious about, do you work a ton of hours or?
Yeah. And I think that has been something where I've had to learn, because I am very I can do it myself. I'm a very I got this. And I've had to learn, when I started to build my business, started to take off, it was no, I really need someone to clean my house every week. I need somebody to do that for me. No, I need to say yes to the carpool. Even though I may miss that, couple afternoons, or I've got to drive some other kids on some other days, I need to say yes to that. I need to say yes to having some help from an assistant. I need to say yes to going, you know what? There's no Plexus emergency, and I can turn off my phone at 9:00 at night, and I can go to bed, and I can get a good night's sleep, and I don't need to get up at 5:00 in the morning and, be go. So I have had to strike a balance, but like you said, there's seasons, I think, for everything. And, my husband and I, because of our financial business and our residual income, we spent 3 years building a house. And we had a season where that's really all that we focused on was our family and building this house, which was great. It was awesome. And now we've kind of found ourselves back in another season of going, he's taken on some new fun projects and doing some things. And so it's okay, we want to, create some new streams of income and do some new fun projects and push ourselves and level up. And every level is going to take a different view, right? So the person that you were to get to whatever, level you were that got you here, you're going to need a different level of you to get you to the next level. And so I think, the things that served you in the past may not always serve you going forward. And so you're just constantly evolving and figuring that out. But I think there are seasons for that. And so we find ourselves in a working season right now. where, sometimes we go, oh man, remember when we just like could like just, all Friday, we just like chilled out all day. Remember those days? We're not in that season right now. But it does make you appreciate them. And it does make you keep working to be in those seasons again. But I love the challenge of new things. I love the challenge of leadership. I love all of those things. I think it has caused us to grow. But I love to play hard too. I love to work hard and I love to play hard. And we're all about it. What is this life if you don't get to play hard, if you don't get to enjoy this life that you're building? So that has been our goal, I guess, from the get-go is, we want to build a life that we don't want to run away from. We want to build a life that we don't need a vacation from. And people always ask us, well, why do you guys, live in Florida? You can live anywhere. I'm like, because we feel like we're on vacation in Florida 24/7. So it's great. We love it. There's so much to do.
So Laura, like, obviously the women in our family are, let's face it, gorgeous, and let's face it, ageless. I'm 40. How old are you now, Laura? 37?
In July.
39. Okay.
Yeah.
So my cousin is 39. I am 40. Clearly we're doing something right. Lauren, just finish us off. Tell us, what are some things you do to look gorgeous, to feel beautiful? Like for me, I don't have a mustache, so I don't need to like do stuff like that. I don't have hairy arms, but I try to get my nails done, which I did the other day, which is like a newfound treat for me because I play the piano. So it's like, it's hard to have nails. I do fake lashes. I like to do the lashes, and I go crazy on my skincare. I spare no expense. I buy anything I want when it comes to my ageless skin, which is why I have no wrinkles. So just finish us off and let us know how to do going into, 39, 40, looking as cute and gorgeous as you do.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, for me, I know for me, it's been an inside out deal, like I call it gut glam because when my body is, balanced and healthy and feeling really good, it really does come out in your skin. It comes out in how you feel. Your eyes are brighter, you just feel good. So I get my nails done. That's like one of my things. And I always joke with people that to stay this natural blonde is like a lot of work, so I always joke with my husband and say, it's really hard to be this natural blonde. So yes, I love getting my hair done. That's a huge thing for me, getting my nails done. I think too, like my self-care has changed a lot in the last couple of years where for me, sometimes the self-care is going to bed early and drinking the water. And sometimes the self-care is drinking the Prosecco. So it's just like finding that balance, obviously, between those things. But for me, the little things that I do every day, I really feel like pay off dividends. I do choose to move my body 30 minutes a day. And sometimes that is just like playing with the kids or like taking the dog for a walk. Like I'm not like crazy about that because I really do believe in the consistency compounds. And so I like floss my teeth every night and put my skincare on and do my things and do facials and get my hair done and get my nails done. And I do those on a regular basis. And I feel like it makes you feel good every day. And so, I do my makeup and get my hair done and do all those things. And I do wear lashes sometimes, not always. But yeah, I love to, and now I'm teaching my daughter those things too. I want to wake up every day and feel really good. So drinking my water, taking my supplements, eating well, feeding my body good, having amazing fun dinners out, dating my husband, keeping it spicy and romantic, all of those things I think keep you young. And I love my collagen. I take my collagen in my coffee every morning and, I love my skincare. All of those things matter. So I think it's important to invest in yourself, and just know that it's not selfish to do that. That when you feel good inside out, that overflows and that ripple effect goes into every other part of your life. From the people you run into at the grocery store to your kids, to your husband, your extended family, all of that stuff matters. Having the energy to do those things and be who you were meant to be, I think is really important. And so I think sometimes as women and as moms, like we want to be like martyrs, or we feel like that self-care is like, selfish in some way. And I know so often people will be like, oh, I could spend this money on, other things or things for the kids. And I think one thing that my husband taught me is, and he always said it like, as far as our dreams, he said, there's enough room in this family for everyone's dreams, all four of us. And we feel the same way about like the things that people want to achieve, things that people want to take care of in our family. Like, we just feel like there's enough, and it doesn't have to be you or just the kids. And I see so often people who will just pour everything into their kids and then they're so depleted, or they'll pour everything into their kids and then their marriage is depleted. And, you just have to really know that, like, if giving them all of that, they want a healthy, happy, mom. Your husband wants a healthy, happy wife. Like, those are the things that really, they do matter. And so investing and taking care of yourself is just as important as taking care of your family.
Laura, let them know one more time where they can hit you up, where they can get in touch with these amazing products, potential business opportunities. You guys, I mean, you mentor people basically if they need it, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Let them know.
So, yeah, whether it's in your health or in the financial journey, health or business, I link arms with you and I help you every step of the way. And that's my passion. Is I want to see you succeed. I want to see you reach your goals. And so, if that's something that you want, if you're looking for help in your health, and you're looking for that missing link, let me help you. Let me see if that's something that I can help you with. You can send me a DM. You can send me an instant message. So the best way to get in contact with me is on Instagram, far.from.loveless, and also on Facebook at Lauren Loveless. So either of those, I respond all the time to messages from people. And I love to help people. I love to, some of my best friends that I've met through Instagram and some of these places, that it's just so fun that these little silly apps will connect these like-minded, people. And, I can help in health and in business. And so often I get people that say, yeah, I want to go on this health journey. And then they start to see the potential with the business. And, sometimes people jump in for the business and then their health is turned around. And sometimes people come for both. And so whatever it is you're looking for, I'm here to help you. And no pressure either way. Obviously it's your journey. And just because I said yes to the business doesn't mean that you have to, and vice versa. But I will say that saying yes to your health is always a good idea, because I've seen that flow over, and that will help you in your, no matter what your endeavors in life are. If you're feeling good, you can do all the things that you were meant to do, and feel really good doing them. So, and look really good doing them too.
Of course. What good is all the cash in the bank if you're not looking cute while you're spending it?
And I'll tell you, that was one of the funny things about this business is people were like, what were you most excited about with the business? And I said, the shopping spree. And somebody was like, the shopping spree? And I'm like, yes. And I just got to get like a fun Nordstrom shopping spree. And it was like so fun to just spend money and just be like, never even think twice about it. So, certain things draw people in, where some people are like, oh, I want the Lexus, or I want the, 6-figure income, or I want the trip to Hawaii, or I want, whatever it is that they want, and all those things are good. Like whatever it is that draws you in, or whatever it is you want to work for, by all means. But yeah, the shopping spree for me was like, because I like to shop.
You got the Lexus, right, Laura?
Yes, I have a beautiful white Lexus. It's gorgeous. I got to pick it out. It's all black interior, black wheels. It's super fun. So that's my mom mobile I get to drive around in, but Plexus paid for it. So it's even better.
Even better. Girls, I hope this helped and inspired you to be unapologetic about your dreams, to be open and honest about where you're at in your life. There's no shame in having a Lexus. There's no shame in having a happy marriage that you've worked really hard for. There's no shame in, any of that. So I think it just is very empowering for other women to feel encouraged and inspired in their journey when people are so open and sharing. So guys, my cousin's like this 24/7. This is not like her getting excited for the moment. She's always has a smile. She's always excited about what she takes on, or else she's not going to take it on. So she's very genuine. And if this is something you're interested in, or you want to just connect with her, because why not? She's fabulous. Go ahead and check out her Instagram, her Facebook, just to support her in that way. And yeah, that's it. So thanks, guys. Have an awesome day. Thanks, Laura. Love ya.
Love ya. Thank you.